This one's going to be a fun one. It's Friday. It's a Friday before a long weekend, so I expect it to have a few less live people on because, hey, some of you have lives. All right, this is two base models compared because the criticism that I hear a lot is base models are never compared, so that's what we do. This is the Kia Sorento LX Plus. We are comparing it to the Kia Carnival, again, the LX Plus model. These are both entry-level vehicles in our lineup, and they're both within $800 of each other. So essentially, if you can afford one, you can afford the other. They also both have third row seats. You have a 7-passenger and an 8-passenger. There's actually a lot of similarities in these cars, and it's up to you which one is best for you. So during this live video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into these vehicles in detail. But because we do these live, what we do is, if you're not watching live with us, for the first 3 minutes, we just allow our live audience to build. So the review of these two vehicles will start at the 3-minute mark. And in the meantime, we'll show you if you want to. You can see how to join us. We'll talk about some news and some notes. And then again, at 3 o'clock, or the 3-minute mark, oh boy, we will get there. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. This is how you join us live. Go to our YouTube channel. You're probably already there. You go in and you refresh the page at exactly 2 o'clock Eastern time on a weekday. You'll see what we do right there. Shaboom. All right, so there is our live video. It takes over, the live video takes over that main section there. You click into that, you're gonna have to watch an ad, and I have to run an ad. I don't think I'm contractually obligated, but I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to. We run, let's try that again. If you're looking to buy a car in Ontario, we, Brantford Kia, Brantford Hyundai, Owen Sound Hyundai. They support us. If you want to buy a car, reach out to me. There'll be a link in the description after this video, and we'll help you out. That was a very poor ad, but you guys got the point, right? That's all that matters. You got the point. Okay, 1 minute to go before we start with the live video. Let me make sure I skip the ad that I have to watch here to get into my own video. If anybody wants to drop a comment, just help me out there. I don't see any right now. I just want to make sure the comments are working and that I'm getting them through here. And maybe say hello. And I got a few likes in there. Okay, there we go. Love new Kia badges. There we go. All right, I should point that out. These cars, the 2021 Sorento I have in stock is not new badge. 2022 is coming out soon. It will be new badge. So there we go. Ooh, don't forget the keys. That's a good point. Teddy bear's here. Don't forget the keys. I did move these keys around. Okay, I got one there. I got one there. Okay, we're good. Which I should probably show you those keys. Maybe we'll grab those right now. Half a minute left. What's going on? Yesterday we did Santa Cruz versus my own personal Chev Colorado. So there's a pickup truck versus pickup truck-ish comparison. Santa Cruz wins in a lot of categories you wouldn't expect it to. Had some people say, hey, they'd still get the Colorado. Yeah, some people are going to buy the regular pickup. That's cool. So that was kind of a fun one to do. So if you haven't seen that, check back. We've got some Kia classes coming up in the next little while as well, which are Kia Hyundai classes, I should say, which are how to use your vehicle. So if you're an owner of a Kia or Hyundai vehicle and you want to know how to use your vehicle, you can hit subscribe because we're going to have a whole bunch of videos in the coming months on how to use a whole bunch of features in your Kia or Hyundai class. All right, my friend Humberto says smash and like, or smash and, I don't know, he said smash the like button. Go ahead, do that. All right, we got to get going here. We're a little bit late. 3-minute mark, here we go. So what have we got here? Kia Sorento LX Plus, Carnival LX Plus. You don't see a lot of Carnival LX Pluses. We just got these in sort of fairly recently. And again, a lot of you complain that you don't get to see a lot of reviews of these. We're going to spend about a half an hour. So the next 30 minutes, we're going to go through these two vehicles to help you sort of decide which one's best for you. And if the video is longer than that, we've just gone a little off topic after that 30-minute mark, or we're answering your questions. So that's sort of how this works. We're going to go pretty in depth. That's kind of what we do here. So first of all, let's just make sure I got the right key here. All right. Both of these cars are keyed cars as opposed to keyless entry, and they have identical keys, except for, in the case of this one, old logo, new logo, and that's just because, like I said, just to be clear, this is a 2021 model. There are still many of these around on dealer lots. If you were to order one, you would get a 2022. So we're in that in-between stage, very, very similar cars, except this would have the newer logo on the new one. We'll talk about that in detail. You can get this in a hybrid, you can get it in a plug-in hybrid. All of those are coming very soon. In the meantime, here's your keys. So new logo, old logo, that's how I'm gonna tell them apart today. Unlock and lock. And now this being the minivan key, you've seen us do the Kia Carnival videos before, and the Kia Carnival has buttons here for the power doors. You'll notice they don't have power doors and they don't have remote start on these vehicles, and that's because these doors, these side doors here, are not powered doors on this model. We'll talk about them as we get there, but you'd have the manual doors instead of the power doors. And then same thing over here, you're also missing maybe a button that might be on some of the cars. There's no remote start through the key fob on either of these vehicles, and that's again because they don't have push button start. So there we go. There we go. Felt bad for selling my old Sedona. Maybe you should have waited. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start here with the Sorento, look at the driver's seat there compared to the driver's seat there, and then we're going to spend our time going through the rear seats, the third row seats. If you want me to sit in both those seats, I can probably do that for you today. And like I said, let's get going. Let's dig in. So which key do I need? I'm going to leave one key here. Oh, just while we're here, if you want to follow me on Instagram, there's how to do it. Pause the screen, and we're done. Okay, here we go. I'm going to drop one key so I only have one in my pocket. There we go. Jumping in here, first of all, let's talk about what you're getting. You're getting a 4-cylinder engine. When I say they're about $800 apart, I can show you that really quickly just so we're on the same page here. Sorento comes up first. We are at the LX Plus model, 191 horsepower 4-cylinder engine, pretty decent fuel efficiency, 10.1, 9.2. $33,995 is the MSRP of the car we're looking at today. Now, the minivan, or the SUV, is the LX, is the LX, not LX Plus. I think I misspoke earlier. Again, base trim, $34,795. $800 difference, that's what we're talking between these two vehicles. And you get a lot of different things. An extra 100 horsepower or so there, and a V6 engine. So, let's go back. Highway fuel efficiency is actually fairly similar. 8.9 here, 9.2 there. You notice the higher level Sorento with a turbo engine actually gets better highway efficiency than this one. All right, let's jump in. Overall, all-wheel drive, we'll talk about that. We'll show you some terrain modes in this vehicle. You cannot get on all-wheel drive on the Carnival, so you do have an advantage of all-wheel drive here. You also have the sort of terrain management, terrain response type system here. And because it's a 4-cylinder, you can't tow as much, but you can still tow with this. Most cars in this class, including Hyundai's cars with the same engine, tow 2,000 pounds. This one can tow 2,800 pounds. So that may open up a few camping trailers to you that wouldn't be available in other vehicles in this class. Just like that they did that 2,800 pound towing capacity. I think that makes a lot more sense for this size of SUV. All right, turning the key to the on position, couple things you'll notice right off the bat. White LED lights, we're gonna take a look at them closer to the end of the video. You've got a really nice color display in here. So you've got, right now I have it set to your smart drive mode. And you can see in that drive mode, it's the eco drive mode. We can put it to smart as well here. And what we have when we had it on smart, if it comes back, smart comfort. Now it might say smart eco, it might say smart sport. So your multiple drive modes can be shown here. And the smart mode's my favorite because what it does is depending on how you use the right side pedal, in other words, your gas pedal, it can adjust on its own between comfort, eco, sport, and actually comfort, eco, and sport. So let me just, sorry for the terrible camera work, I'm trying to zoom in here as well. There's your drive modes button. So this is what I'm talking about here. Smart, sport, eco, and comfort, just slightly tweaking your drive modes. I really prefer the smart mode for most of my driving. However, hit that terrain mode and you've got a snow mode, a mud mode, and a sand mode. So whether you're going camping to the cottage or just through some snow, you can customize this drive system, the 4-wheel drive system, and the terrain response would be things like your, oh boy, I'm just having trouble here today. Your vehicle stability control systems, traction control, all those kinds of things for the different modes that you might drive in. Now, you don't have to put in snow mode in the snow. It just optimizes the car. The car is always going to be active in 4-wheel drive. And in fact, it always starts, well, all-wheel drive, I should say. It always starts with all wheels being powered. And then as it senses it has traction, it moves the power from the rear wheels just to the front wheels. It's always at least 95% in the front and 5% in the rear, but it can go up to 50-50 and it decides on its own what to do. It's a really good situation. Sport is all I keep mine in because my family calls me a lead foot. I don't speed, but I take off. That's pretty fun. I'm just reading some comments here as we're coming through. All right, so again, that drive mode thing is kind of a big deal in this class, and so is a nice color display screen. A lot of information in there, tire pressure monitors, that kind of thing, fuel efficiency. You can even just make it your speedometer if you want to do that. Let me just go back to where we can do that. Tire pressure monitors are there. There's your all-wheel drive bar graphs. They light up as you're going, and there's your speedometer. So if you just want a digital speedometer in there, kind of a cool way to do it. Over here is kind of a big deal as well. Both of these cars have the same radio system here. You'll see them laid out just slightly different, but identical systems here. So what you see in one, you're going to get in the other, and they both have wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. That's a big deal. If you think about when you're using this with your family, you're zipping around town, you're going you're going to stores, and all of a sudden you're going to, maybe you bought something off Facebook Marketplace and you want to go figure it out. What you can do is enter someone's address in here through your Google Maps or your Apple Maps, and of course you can do that wirelessly. So you can leave your phone down in a special phone holder down here. On this particular model, it's not a wireless charger. It could be on higher trim levels, but you have a spot to put your phone there, and you can wirelessly connect, so you can wirelessly call up Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Google Maps, those kinds of things. You can send text messages through voice, and just a better interface for some of that kind of stuff. Play your music, all kinds of things. And it just works really well because wireless is a big difference. So again, if you know what Android Auto and Apple CarPlay is, great. If you don't know what it is, we'll have to explain that in a different video. But it basically takes your phone, many of your phone apps, puts them on your car in a car-friendly manner, and creates less distraction and more usability. And what that means is it doesn't have a factory navigation here, but it's essentially the same thing. If you're using your phone and it's wireless, you're not plugging in any wires or anything, and you can call it up. So it's kind of a cool system here. The radio system's just AM, FM, but it is an FM with an HD radio signal, which is pretty cool as well. And again, so just kind of some nice things there. We're going to show you just one more menu here. You've got a quiet mode in this car and in the other car. The quiet mode, what it does is turns off the rear speakers in the rear of the car, and it allows you to have the rear speakers off, and the front volume will be set to number 7, which you can turn up from there if you want to. But the idea being, you can have kids in the back, they can sleep. Or if you have kids wearing their own music with their earbuds, they don't have to listen to your music, but you don't have to turn off your music to not disturb them. So kind of a cool little system there. Just a simple touch of a button away, and lots of setup stuff in there. So nice little display screen, manual climate controls in both these cars, very easy to understand. If you haven't used this, then you probably didn't pass your license test either. These are pretty simple, pretty common. They have been for years, and they're functional and they work. So that's good. Coming down here, like we said, a place to put your phone. If you want to cover that up, you can cover everything in here. You can charge up to 3 devices on the USB ports there. If you wanted to go wired Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, maybe you're having an issue with the wireless at some point, you can go wireless through or wired through that as well. This vehicle does have heated seats. The Carnival at $800 more does not. So you gain an extra seat, you gain a lot of space. There's a lot of things you gain in that vehicle, but you will not get the heated seats in the Carnival at this trim line, or the lower trim line. You will get them here, and they're kind of nice 3-level heated seats. Automatic transmission, which you can throw into a manual mode by just tapping this and choosing your own gears on your own, which is kind of nice if you have that, you know, that up to 2,800 pounds towing capacity. So you've got a trailer behind you. Maybe you're going up a hill, you can do that. Actually, I threw it in reverse there for a second and the car beeped. Should probably show you how clear the backup cameras are here. Filming a screen is a terrible way to show clarity, but you can see every line in the floor. You can almost see the hair on Teddy Bear there. So very clean wide-angle camera. And when I turn the wheel, you can see the blue line stays lined up with the parking space that you're backing into. If you just line up this exactly with the blue line, exactly with the parking spot, you will be centered in the lane. And of course, the yellow and red can steer to where you're headed. So nice deal there. Hill descent control is down here as well by your drive modes over here, which is kind of nice. I use that when I'm camping, and there is an auto stop to the engine, so you can come to a stoplight, the engine can turn itself off and save some fuel. Coming over here, cruise control's on the wheel over here, but you have the lane keep and lane follow assist. Now this is a couple things. It uses a camera system mounted up. Whoops, there we go. I should look around the camera. There we go. Camera system mounted out here that looks forward. It sees the lane markers. It sees a lot of things actually, but when it's seeing the lane markers, what it does is, hey, wait a second, check out this cool car. Fancy paint job. All right. Okay, keep moving on. So what the lane camera does is it gives you lane markers, and it can keep your car centered in the lane. It actually actively can steer the car to keep it centered in the lane. It's really cool on a long trip where it makes it so much easier to follow. So that's really helpful there, where the car can stay centered in the lane. But because it has a camera system as well, it also is forward collision avoidance. Now, my boss likes it when I use this phrase. We want you to test your forward collision avoidance the same way you test your airbags. In other words, don't test it. Don't put something in front and try not to brake. But the point is the car is capable of avoiding a collision or minimizing a collision, and that can save on insurance rates, and it can frankly save people's lives. So kind of a cool feature to have in this entry-level vehicle, along with sort of that self-steering, like you used to only get that into like Teslas and that kind of thing. And then of course you also have your headlight control over here. They are automatic headlights, but they are also automatic high beams, which is kind of nice. Let me just turn it to, there we go. So the automatic high beams, what they can do is they come on automatically when it's dark, and when you have traffic coming towards you or near in front of you, they dim down automatically. The other cool thing is they dim down when they see street lights around you, which is pretty cool. All right, that is this car. Do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button right now. We're going to spend a couple minutes in the Carnival just showing you the differences between the two, because a lot of this is the same, and then we're going to go take your questions. So do me a favor, hit the like button. Let's see if we can go for 50 today. Is that too much to ask? We're already almost halfway there, so let's see if we can get there. All right, quieter long weekend, a few less people on the normal, and that means I can take your questions. We can be a little more personal. All right, let's jump over to the Carnival right now. Carnival, of course, is a minivan. Some people don't want to call it a minivan. They want to call it a life utility vehicle, I think, in Canada. The Love LUV. It's a minivan. So moving on from that school of thought, jumping in here, manual seats down here, which is fine. Same kind of idea. A different dash layout completely. You'll see if you were paying attention to what the other dash looked like. This is a very different style dash, but very similar features. So again, little different layout in here. Oops, remember that key that I left on the thing? All my regulars always tell me when I start the video, remember to grab the keys. It's the thing I do wrong pretty much daily. All right, there's the key right there. Still Carnival is a minivan. Yes, it is. All right, a little bit of shipping plastic in here, guys. I noticed that this is white right now. That is actually not white. That is shipping plastic in there. It'll actually be a darker trim piece. So if you see some weird plastic pieces that look like they're pretty chintzy, it's probably just the shipping plastic that is on this car. They use clear, they use different colors. So there we go. Same basic exact dash here. Of course, they've changed the software to show the vehicle that you're in as opposed to the vehicle. That is the back end of the Carnival there, so kind of cool. But same basic thing through here, a little bit different layout over here. Same type of screen, same type of display, same software. The only difference with this is it's angled a little bit more towards the driver, a little more driver-centric environment down here. Manual climate control buttons down here, so that's all, or dials and knobs. You have a cool little system here to turn the fan on the rear system. So this is the fan over here on the rear air, and this is the temperature. So we got cool, now we got hot, and of course that's the rear climate system, so we can turn that off. So kind of a cool way to work the rear system as well as the front system. And basically you have a separate control there for the rear system. Now what's cool about that is you can also, come on over here, sorry for my terrible camera work, you can allow your rear seat passengers to work that as well. And they've got vents in the ceiling there, so you can really customize where you put that air. You can adjust the fan speed, you can turn it on or off, and you can adjust the temperature the same way. And they can see sort of where that temperature is set in the yellow and or the amber and blue lights there as well. So kind of a cool system, even in the base trim with that rear air, rear climate. And again, same USB type ports down here, the wireless Android Auto that we talked about. 8-speed transmission in this one as well. However, this is connected to a V6. You can tow 3,500 pounds instead of just 2,800 pounds, which is 700 pounds more, and that makes a difference. Down here, electronic parking brake is standard. You do have parking beepers on this car, so rear beepers as well, and the same backup camera that we have on the other one. Steering wheel is almost identical in function, but different in look. New logo here, but again, the ability for the car to steer itself a little bit on the lane follow assist, cruise control, forward collision avoidance, LED headlights on this car as well. Set to the auto right there. We'll show you them later. Lane keep assist is right over here on both cars. Lane follow assist, which is just a more precise system, is over there. Power windows, power locks, power doors. So essentially the driver's seat, very, very similar. The rest of this video is going to be the differences between how much space you have, how everybody fits, and that kind of thing. We did mention that no rump roasters, as I like to call them. Somebody says seat warmers here. I just missed that comment. But yeah, this one does not have seat heaters, whereas the Sorento does. So all-wheel drive and seat heaters is the Pro over there. V6 power and a lot more space is the Pro over here. This one is the one that's about $800 more than the other one. So again, pretty affordable. If you can afford one, the other one's probably just as affordable for you. All right, we're gonna go take your questions right now. We're about halfway to our likes goal. We were trying to get for 50 likes. Right now there's 37 people on, which probably needs to be about 300 or so, 350 people on today. And what that means is you people who have not liked it yet, you guys can hit the like right now and we can get to 50 and we'll have reached our goal, which is my long weekend goal. All right, 40 people on. Let's see if we can keep it up here. We're taking your questions right now if you're just joining us, and we're taking a look at the two entry level, the LX Sedona, wow. LX Carnival and the LX Plus Sorento right there. So I'll let you look at them for a second. We'll flip around here. Actually, we'll just flip back to me for a second. Let's take your questions right now. I'm on my computer here, so if I look like I'm on a weird angle, that's the way we do things. Let's go down. There are aftermarket rump roasters you can get. They're usually high and low settings only. Yes, you could do an aftermarket setting if that was the only thing. You can also consider moving up a trim. You get quite a bit more by moving up one trim, and we can go over that in a future video. We've got videos here on the LX Plus of each, or LX Plus Carnival and LX Premium Sorento. So you can move up a trim as well. Depends on if you want to go aftermarket or moving up trim. Sometimes those aftermarket things are fairly expensive to only add the one feature. So, you know, I don't know the number, but let's say it's $2,000 more for the next trim up. If you're going to spend $1,000 on rump roasters or something like that, that may not make sense for you. So, and then they're aftermarket. So, okay. Someone says, think I would choose the Sorento due to all-wheel drive and seat warmers over the Carnival, but both are really nice. Yeah, if you wanted all-wheel drive, Sorrento's the option. Carnival, I think, has a little more zip. Even though the one's a 4-cylinder, one's a 6-cylinder and larger, the Carnival, I feel like it has a little more zip when you're driving it. The only thing I didn't like from the Carnival is they have those piano finish trims. When you have kids, it could be a disaster. Yeah, I mean, if you have kids in a vehicle at any way, it's a disaster, isn't it? You're prepping for disaster, I guess what we're saying. Okay, you guys are laughing at me getting distracted by the car? Yeah, I'm a car guy. When I see something unique go by, I'm gonna take a look, whether I'm live or not. That's the way it works here. All right. Okay, so I don't see a ton of comments in here. If I'm missing something, some of my regulars, feel free to repeat a question for me. Tell me if I'm missing something. When will the 2022 Sorento come out with the hybrid powertrains? Probably by the end of this year is the schedule. Now, it's really risky for me to make a promise online because one, I don't know. Normally what happens in the car industry is they promise us a car by a certain date, and within a couple days or within a week or so of that, we see a car. Right now in the auto industry, I think GM shut down 6 plants in North America. I think Subaru's shutting down a bunch of plants in Japan. Around the world, manufacturers are literally shutting down plants because chip shortage, all kinds of things going on. Kia and Hyundai are not separate from that. There are issues with supply, so I'm not going to go out on a limb, but at this point we're expecting a hybrid, and I think plug-in hybrid by the end of the year, but I don't have confirmation on some of that, and I don't know that we'll get confirmation this year where we would in other years. It's just a weird year. If you look at our lot, we used to have this all full. That's an employee car there. That's my car right there. That's a service car back there. I mean, we've got a lot of empty spots here. That's an employee's car as well right there. So that's just the side lot. We've got a lot up front. But reality is a lot of people ordering cars today are ordering cars today. So when they're introducing new cars, supply chain is limited. All right, let's jump into rear seats here, middle row seats in the Sorento. And part of the reason, again, if you're going to order a car, and I feel like this is like an important role for me to take on right now. If you're ordering a car, you want to know what you're getting, and you may not be able to see exactly what you get. So we've got a really good database of Kia Hyundai vehicles on this channel. So feel free to browse through that if you're looking at a car. All right, here's the middle row seats in this car. There are third row seats. Here's me getting in. I'm 6 feet tall, hopping in. Not a big deal at all. Lots of space here. I can slide back these seats or recline back these seats to here, and very comfortable, very laid back kind of position here. What I like is yesterday we showed the Santa Cruz and we had the second from the top trim line. There's 3 trim lines. Only the top level Santa Cruz has vents back here, but even the base level Sorento has it. So kind of a nice little feature there. You've got a USB or 12 volt port there, USB port there, but you're not going to use that USB port very often because you also have them built into the back of the seat. So having a USB port in the back of both front seats is kind of a cool feature, even on the entry level trim here, and pockets on both sides of the seat. So you've got a regular pocket there, a mesh pocket out here. So if you've got rear seat passengers that are using devices, this is a really comfortable space for them to sit and a really practical area for them to use their devices. And again, legroom is really quite a bit. I can make it a lot less. So let's just keep it up here for a second. My knees are pretty much touching. And if I move it back all the way, we're gonna leave this seat all the way back so that when I climb into the third row seat, you're gonna see how much space I have. But of course, I want you to remember, I can create a ton of space here by going to the halfway point, for instance, to make more room for the third row seat. So when we climb back there, keep that in mind. It'll be tighter, but it will be because the seat is all the way back and I can create some room. So there we go, armrest in the middle here, cup holders in the door. This trim line with the 4-cylinder non-turbo is 7 seats, has a middle row seat here. You can see right down here, if we look at both my leg is flat on the seat and there is that center seat. If you move to the turbo engine Sorento, the higher trim levels, you only get captain's chairs here. The reason I think this is better is if you happen to have 3 kids or 3 people in the back here, let's call it 3 kids, and you go to a cottage or something like that, you can use the full trunk in this trim level here. So you can put 3 kids here. If you only have the captain's chairs, you're obviously throwing a kid in the back, and that changes the way you might travel. All right, 41 people on right now, 30 likes. We're going for 20 more likes, guys. So at least 10 of you are holding out to me, but probably a lot more. Do me a favor, guys, hit the like button. We're going for 50 likes today. I'm gonna jump into the Carnival. Now, Carnival, this is the only one I can show you without the power door, so I want you to watch carefully with my finger. I'm gonna pull with one finger, and oh, I didn't quite do it. I'm gonna slide it a little bit more. The doors are pretty light. I was gonna kind of let them slide on their own. Oh, you know why I did that? I did that wrong. See, this is how not used to these things I am. So 2 fingers to open really, but pull it from here. It kind of slides gently on its own, looks like a powered door, and shuts. Now, it didn't quite latch, but the point is, it's very light to close, so it's not going to slam on your kids either way, but it is very light to close, and that's kind of a good thing for these non-powered doors. Rear seat of the Carnival, if you haven't seen the rear seat, I'm not going to show it to you as well as I should today. This center row seat can slide all the way up, almost touching here. It can slide all the way back in the way of those third row seats. In fact, way back, so the front of this seat is well behind these seats here, which is kind of a cool area, cool design. You can also fold and tumble and take all of these seats out. I'm just going to show you this seat here, but keep in mind that middle row seat is kind of magic. It comes a way up, comes a way back. Like way back, as if it's almost a third row seat. So when the third row seats are folded, that sits almost where the third row seats are. And if you have 3 kids, you can really separate them out in here, which is kind of cool. All right, me jumping in, I want to show you this real quickly. There's a handle right here. That's kind of cool. I don't need it myself, but you may have passengers that do need it, and you can just move yourself around with it quite easily. Headroom is great, obviously. Seats are a little bit lower than the Sorento, but your legs are still comfortable here. And I mean, we're talking silly amounts of legroom. And so let's, whoops, moving the wrong lever here. Where am I? There we go. So we take this seat here and slide it all the way forward. I am uncomfortably touching my knees here to the thing, and you can go all the way back. So tons of space here. We're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna leave this seat all the way back, so when I jump into the third row, you can see an accurate comparison. Let's do third row seating first, then we'll do trunk space, then we'll maybe lighting if you want. We'll take your questions, and we'll try to wrap this up just after that half-hour mark. So we're at 26 and a half, 27 minutes now. 32 likes. We've got 18 people that are trying to convince to like me today, just today. All right, third row seats. I got to put this one up, which is why I'm going to the trunk of the Sorento. Going to drop these floor mats out of here for a second. Oops, you can't even see what I'm doing. So third row seats to put up is pretty simple. I'm going to put them both up right now. I think we're going to skip our trunk comparison today, guys. We have trunk comparisons otherwise, but I want to stay with the time frame. If you want to stay on for the end, we could do a trunk comparison, but you'll have to bear with my terrible video skills. I may have to have a couple hands to put everything up and down in these third row vehicles. There's your third row seats up. 2022 Sorentos are going to have a spare tire, which means this shouldn't be there. It'll be a jack kit instead of an inflator kit there, but you'll still have the storage space there. These ones, 2021s, do not have that spare tire. They have the inflator kit instead. Kind of half of one, you know, 6 of the other, whatever. Half dozen, you know what I'm saying. All right, so here's how you get in the back seats here. It's very easy. Press the button. So if you have a little kid, they can press that button. Boom, the seat goes forward. Now that front seat could be moved a little bit forward, but again, we left this seat in the furthest back position, right? So I'm climbing in here. I should probably show you me climbing in. Oops, there we go. There's me climbing in. It's not super hard to get in here, even as a 6-footer. Well, camera work is hard though, apparently. There we go, come on camera. Okay, so when we get back here, these seats, do I have the headroom? Yes. Are my legs flush on the seat like I like them to be? No, they're not. These are 45-minute seats, half-hour seats, get around town kind of seats for adults. They'll fit kids just fine. However, even with this seat all the way back, my knees are touching, but my feet are flat on the floor. I fit. Now you could create a lot more leg space for me by moving up 3-4 inches. That would be helpful if you were sitting in the middle row seat for me. Do I fit? Yes. Am I comfortable? I'm okay, but not for a super long trip for an adult. Let's compare quickly to the Carnival. I'll show you me getting out. Somebody said, can you show that sometime? I don't know that I can put the camera down and show you the same way, but it's not that hard to get out. All right, so we'll leave that one where it is. Coming over here to the Carnival. Come on, camera, you can do it. There we go. So again, very light and easy to open doors. Swings open, actually a lot quicker on these doors. You can do it quicker than with the powered seats. This one here, no button, but I'm just gonna move the sticker. Very easy, 2 fingers here, you pull that, and the whole seat moves forward. More space to get in here. So again, when I show you myself climbing in like this, much easier to get into the minivan here. A little better camera work too, you see that? All right, flipping the camera, come on camera. Wow, this seat's way reclined. You don't need to have it this reclined. I believe the only adjustment is on the back of the seat. So ignore how my seat is super reclined and actually quite comfortable to lay down in. This is how I would normally sit. Oh, there's a strap right here, hold on. There we go. There's a strap right beside me. And you can see how much time I've spent in the back seat of a Carnival. Not a lot. All right, knee space, again, with the seat as far back as it possibly goes. A little bit of space there. Just that much space between that seat and my knee. Again, pretty good. Could I stay back here? Yeah, I could stay back here for quite a long time. I would ask that my middle row passenger move up, you know, 3 inches or so, which again, they have like a foot of space for a 6-footer behind a 6-footer behind a 6-footer. But yeah, comfortable, and the ability to recline just a little bit. This would be a real comfortable position for me. Headroom is pretty good. As I come back, there is that dip that I kind of get underneath there. So again, at 6 feet, I'm pretty tight when I'm laying back here. I'm pretty good when I'm sitting up normally. So just something to keep in mind. Adult passengers, adult size passengers, you're gonna want the minivan. You just are. Unless you're taking the rear seats as sort of spare seats for adults in the Sorento, no big deal. All right, we passed that 30-minute mark. We're at that half-hour spot. I am gonna skip the trunk demonstration because I have it on other videos. So feel free to look around at the other videos. I do wanna show you lighting on these cars just really, really quickly. And then we'll take your questions and we'll finish up. Okay. That one has USB ports on the back. What are we talking about here? So you guys are commenting, I'm reading your comments, and it sounds like I'm not understanding, so that's true, I'm not. Impressive level of space in the Carnival. Yeah, the Carnival is huge. So the Carnival, again, class-leading space for a minivan, and that's a big deal because it's way bigger interior than a Sorento or another SUV. So people always said to me too, I think somebody's comparing one of those large SUVs, I think the large GM ones that are, you know, double the price, even of the expensive side of these. And the Carnival comes out on top with a lot of the space compared to other very large SUVs. All right, headlighting really quickly. Even on the base level trims here, you have LED lights. LED lights, first of all, these ones are gonna flicker weird. Those are actually full time lit up. Just the camera interacting with them can make them flicker. But check out the headlight here. Blazingly bright. And it's very white. This is what you want. I always say if you can get the LED lighting, go for it. And on these ones, you don't have to decide what kind of vehicle you're gonna get. On this one here, you have the bright white LEDs. This wall films it yellow. In my eyes seeing it versus your camera seeing it, it's very white, and that's natural daylight color. And you have the same thing over here with the Sorento. That means that you're gonna recognize what you see at night. Little different look, but same idea here. Sorrento's a little different. Top trim Sorrentos have a different style of LED, and actually same thing with the Carnival. Different style LED in the top trim, but all of them are LED. This is just your daytime running light. We saw the other day we did a Sorento EX, and that signal light wasn't there because it has different style LED headlights, and this becomes your signal on the upper trims, but on this one, this is always your daytime running light, and that's your signal in there. Rear lighting, we'll just take a quick peek at that, and then we'll take your questions, and we'll wrap up the video. We are 15 likes away from 50, so apparently I got a little too aggressive with my assumptions of how much you guys are gonna like me today, or like the cars, or like anything. There's lighting there, signal lights in here. And then you have the same thing with lighting here. Still pretty cool design here. Of course, as you move up the trim line, you get this as more an LED look, and you get a light across here. You can see they kind of mimic that, and in the light, there's a mirrored look behind that kind of makes it look like a light, but it's not. So at night, cool designing in there. All right, come back to me for a second here. If you have questions, they take a second to get to me, so ask them right now. I will do my best to answer every question that we have, and if I missed it, I do apologize. I do my best to do that. And of course, if you're not watching live with us, fill the comment section. We answer these comments. I look through them every single workday, and I do my best for you. So feel free to ask your questions or comments. Give you a look at them for a second as I try to figure out where your comments are. Just got the Seltos SX, heard the Carnival backlog is crazy. Yeah, I should point that out. Carnival backlog, if you want a high trim one, you're gonna be waiting a while. Lower trim ones, I believe, are more available. For these kinds of cars, you're probably right now, and this is not unique in the industry, there is a wait time to some of these cars. So just keep that in mind if you're looking for a car. It's possible your dealer will have one in stock. It's possible we'll have one in stock. But for the most part, you're gonna be ordering cars for just about everything you buy right now that's got any kind of popularity. Okay, I want to address this. Here in New York City, they're asking $2,000 over MSRP for the Carnival. Not going to happen here at Brantford Kia. We sell at MSRP. That's the highest we will sell. So it's MSRP or less. And I'm going to be honest, we're selling them at MSRP right now. We're not going to really discount a whole lot of stuff. It's possible we could, I guess, but you know, when it's so rare to get them, sometimes it's hard to discount that. Okay, what else we got here? Does Sorento get the rims, Those are bleh. Yes, so the Sorento can have different rims. These are the smallest rims. One trim up goes a little bit bigger rim. So these are the most basic rims. They may not be for everybody, but you can move a trim line up and get it. Of course, when you look at the base trim lines, if you go to certain things like a Honda CR-V, the base level Honda CR-V is smaller than this, has like metal rims, not like the steel rims instead of the alloy rims. So you have some nice options for aluminum rims, but yes, they are smaller than they would be on upper trim lines for sure. And are there options to upgrade? Sure. Will you do a comparison between the Sorento and the Tucson? Probably not. I'll tell you why. Coordinating that is a little difficult, and to be very honest, there's some apprehension between Hyundais and Kia peoples, various levels, between putting them in the same video base. So unless there's a super good reason to do it, they're direct competitors, they're both brand new, that kind of thing. EV6 and Ioniq 5, I'm probably gonna put in the same bay. Tucson and Sorento, you'll probably have to watch one video one day and another video the next day is the easiest way to compare. That allows me to really show the pros of one without showing the cons in the next room. Now, I don't know, you know, I do the same thing here. It's just there is a difference. There's different people involved in that kind of thing. So I'm not going to do a ton of Hyundai Kia comparisons unless it really makes sense. And the Tucson and Sorento would not be one. Now I will do possibly or very likely Tucson versus the new Sportage, which will come out in the spring, because that'll be same platform, similar things, and that's just a video I think worth doing. So there we go. Peter has videos of them all, makes them, and see, yeah, you just have to compare between videos at this point, unless I know that the cars are direct competitors. And that's the thing. If they're directly the same, new Sportage and current Tucson, I may consider doing something like that. EV6, Ioniq 5, that seems like a logical one to put in the same bay. But I gotta be careful about comparing things that one has an obvious advantage. Like this one has an obvious all-wheel drive advantage over that one, but you're staying at the same dealer and that makes it easier to do. Okay, we're going a little long here, 36, 37 minutes. Just wanna make sure I get your questions. Back seats of Carnival, does it have USB ports? I believe they do. I'm not sure on this trim line, so let's just double check. Upper trim lines, I feel like they do, but the LX, I have not spent a ton of time with the LX. I'm gonna be very honest with you. We've had very few of these in so far. Yeah, no USB in the very back. And yeah, actually, there you go. There's the spot right there. Let's just zoom in. That would be a USB port in a higher trim. It is just a plug on this trim. So great question, not LX on, or no USB on the LX thing. Okay, going back over to your questions here. I saw a couple come in just now. I'm trying to get to them. Hey, we're only 11 likes away from our 50 like goal. So if you wanna hit that like button while I'm answering questions, that works for me. Sorento is gravity gray or different? It is certainly consistent with gravity gray. I forgot the names of the titles of the colors on Sorento. So if gravity gray is a color, that's what I would call it. I have a gravity gray car, so it's certainly very similar. I haven't got the color names up in front of me, but that is, yeah, the closest gray to gravity gray. If that's what it's called, that's what it is. Thank you for your very in-depth videos. I have two teenage boys into all sports and growing taller. Your videos are helpful in my search. Yeah. So again, teenage boys, I don't care how tall they are. They're probably going to fit in the back row here. They're going to be tight back there. If you need to take tall, full adult-sized kids in the third row, I would strongly suggest the Carnival at that point. Okay. Would love to see a Tucson Sportage video. Yeah, that one's probably one that makes sense. Is the Carnival all-wheel drive? It's not on any trim line. That's just the way it is. It is selling, and to be honest, I know that a lot of you want that, but they can't keep up with demand as it is, so don't expect them to add an all-wheel drive for a while, because right now there's enough people wanting these that creating another line of vehicles that would create more demand, that would be crazy. When is the new 2022 Kia K3 and Forte coming to dealerships? I don't know. I have my guesses on that, but again, timelines of everything is a real big question mark right now. I would have guessed in a normal time of like normal car days, it would have been October, November, but I don't know right now. It could be as late as the spring as possibly. We do have information on it, but like I said, the car industry is crazy right now as far as trying to get orders and new vehicles. So I don't know when I find out, and we will find out soon. At least the plans, we'll tell you that, of course, on this channel. All right, somebody says, okay, yeah, I think we're gonna leave it there, guys. So if I missed your question, feel free to just throw it in the replay. When the replay is up, you can throw it in the regular comment section. This should process in a little bit and it'll be up there for you. I wanna thank everyone for joining us. We're gonna hit 10 million views. We celebrate every million views, kind of like it's my birthday around here. So 10 million should be a fun one. We're gonna hit that this weekend sometime. So when I come back, I'm off Monday because it's a holiday here. We'll be back Tuesday and we'll probably be celebrating our 10 million views. So make sure you tune in on Tuesday, because I don't know what we're doing yet, but I think we'll have some fun with that. Do you know if any PHEV Sorentos are coming in? Yes, we have hybrid Sorentos on order. PHEV, so plug-in hybrid Sorentos, will be coming, but we can't quite order them yet. So of course we'll keep you updated on that when we can get them, what's going on. I'll do regular videos. I don't know if you see me do videos where I stand in front of the, or I sit in front of the TV screen and I kind of do updates. So a lot of those types of videos will have updates, and we'll do regular videos as updates come in on those kinds of things. So we're gonna leave it there, 40 minutes. We got to 39 likes. Hey, not everybody can like you all the time. That's the way it works. Thanks everybody for watching. Enjoy your long weekend. We will see you back here Tuesday.